out, but have some fun, right? And that's why we're doing it together. But it's also about, it's like I like to run distance races. I like to do trail races. And a lot of that is about just improving, just getting better. We're all running our own race, and that's certainly true here too. So Pete has some baseline fitness measurements for us to do. We're going to do all this work together, and then we'll do some measurements at the end and have a good time doing it. But I would like to really quickly to tie you all together, if we could do some intros, real simple. We can see your name on the screen, but you can verbalize it anyway. Where are you at? And we're all business owners. That's why we're here. So it's fun to have that as a context to pull us together. So name, where you're from, and what's your business. And I'm just going to go around with what I see on the screen. So I see Tersh, and then I see Sean. You guys
Hey,
would do that great.
My name is Tersh Blissett. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. I have 2 HVAC companies, 2 plumbing, electrical companies, and 2 podcasts.
Cool.
My name is Sean LaChapelle. I am in sunny Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm in sales we do commercial, industrial refrigeration and dehumidification projects for like big cold storage buildings, mostly in the Caribbean.
Nice. And then how about Andy, Jack, and then John? Andy, you're on mute. Can't hear you.
Sorry. Hey, everybody. Andy Richardson. I'm in Beaufort, South Carolina, not too far from you, Tersh, and on the other side of the river there. But and I run a structural engineering company for several years now, and also do another muse called the Ultimate Civil PE, where we help people with PE exam, not physical education, Pete, but professional engineering. So.
Yeah. Cool. I'm Jack Justice. I'm in Lyons, Colorado, and I run Ramblin' Jackson. We do digital marketing for landscapers, and I wrote a book about it, and I run a podcast. I've been working with Wayne for about 5 years now. Can't get rid of him. So excited for this project.
There you go, John. Nice.
Good deal. Hi guys, John Cavallo. I run Apollo Safety. We do PPE, the Rona stuff to begin with, but I'm on the high-tech side. I install life safety systems for major universities and manufacturing, and stop things from blowing up and have fun with that. I'm in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's a town that's about 20 miles east of Providence, Rhode Island, and about 50 miles south of Boston.
Thanks, John. Scott, and then about Kane, and then I think we'll have everybody that's on.
Hi guys, greetings from Negril, Jamaica. I'm actually here.
I wondered if you were gonna rub that in, man. That's good.
Oh, I'm totally gonna rub it in. Yes, I heard somebody say sunny Minneapolis. It's probably 38 in Minneapolis. It's probably 83 here. So, I got to rub it in a little bit, guys. I'm actually here on a workcation. We've heard of staycations and vacations, so I've tried to come up with a new term. I'm here for a month, so I'm going to be working every day. But you see my office, right? Not too shabby. Yeah. This is where I'm working for the next month. I live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania normally, and I'm a big fan of Pete's. Wayne, I think I'm the one who hooked you up with Pete. You saw something I commented on a post, and he's just a beast. And
exactly,
I'm happy that we're here and we're able to have his guidance. And Pete, I need you, brother. I'm looking forward to having you whip my ass back into shape, because the Corona pandemic hasn't been too good to me. I've been stuck at home, working from home, and eating too many bags of hot Cheetos, and need to get my ass off the couch and work out. So good. I look forward to working with everybody.
Good deal. Kane.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm in the car. I'm about 2 minutes from my house, but Kane D'Amico, I'm an HVAC contractor in not so sunny Connecticut, but it is up to 46 degrees here now. And out of shape, have been for a while. 2021 is my year to turn it around, and this challenge shows up at the optimal time, and I'm excited to be tackling this challenge with the rest of you guys.
Awesome. Good deal. Pete, I'll turn it over to you. I'm Wayne here. You guys know me. I'm in the building here. I don't have my workout clothes on, but this is what I got. We got our home little gym here with some Scott Appel flooring underneath me. And I'm looking forward to this too. I could use a rewire. So Pete, thanks for being here. You got it.
Hey, well, thank you for that. It's good to have everybody here, and thank you for participating in this 12-week challenge. So let me start by saying a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. Attended the University of Maryland on a football scholarship, captain of the football team, banged around the NFL for 6 seasons. I've had many different interests. I'm an actor. I've been in more than 100 Hollywood productions, and I've been the whole time through, whether it was, beginning, I was that proverbial skinny kid that wanted, I'm tall, I'm 6'6", and I was fast, but I lacked any meaningful strength and power in high school, and was about 15 years old. I was blessed to have a really good high school football coach. Says, you got to get stronger. We had a little crummy weight room set up at my high school. This is in the late 70s. But I just grabbed onto it, embraced it, read the bodybuilding magazines. And I've always been interested not only in playing football, but how to develop body. By the way, how do you make somebody more muscular? How do you make somebody faster? How is that possible? How is it that lifting weights can make somebody faster and jump higher and be more explosive? And so I became a personal trainer. Got a liberal arts education, but I'm like Avis. I try twice as hard. I've been educating myself like nonstop about physical fitness and everything it takes to make people better. And over the years, and going into my 4th decade of helping people get better physically, and also connecting the mindset to the whole thing. I'm getting older, so I'm also malleable enough, right, to say, look, I'm 59, right? So I need to take care of this as I move forward. I plan on living to 100 or damn near 100, and there's no quality of life if you can get into that, that high age category. It's of no use to me or anybody else if I'm not a physical person. If I'm sitting, in a wheelchair and unable to do it, I don't want to live that long, but I want to live a physical and meaningful life into my later years. And I know that the only way to do that is through taking care of my body now and never stop. So that's my journey. That's where I'm at. When should you start? A year ago, 10 years ago, if you hadn't started yet. I think everybody here is maybe doing, is every single, fitness level in this group right here. And that's why this is just a very overall fitness. What can you expect to get out of this program? As much as you put into it, as much as you care about it, as diligent and disciplined as you might be. I'm going to give you guidelines, I'll give you outline. This isn't personal training, right? This isn't personal coaching. You understand that. But understand that, and I wanted to help myself organize the thoughts that I had coming into this meeting. That's why I put this, and I said to Wayne, is it all right if I put together a one sheet, note for everybody? It turned into be 3.5 pages, but I just have a lot to say. And I think it's going to help us collectively to understand what's going on. I think it's the best way to proceed. So I want to set your expectations that you can get as much out of this as you in the next 12 weeks as you set your mind to do. And believe me when I tell you that you can accomplish a lot in terms of fat loss, in terms of gaining some precious muscle, precious, valuable, important muscle, and also changing the way that you feel, changing your mood, changing your level of energy, your personal vitality. That's a very, very important thing that tends to go down precipitously as we age, particularly when we get past the age of 45 or 50. So I'm passionate about it. It's really important to me. And so let's go. I think you don't have to have the outline in front of you because I've got it. But I'm just going to use it as a reference myself. But hey, where are you now? So, and we can make a little bit of a contest about this to some bigger or greater, I've never been concerned about contests, even as a professional athlete. I've always felt like the contest was with me. That was it, but okay, when I played for the Chiefs and then I looked across the line, there's somebody from the Broncos. I played for the Raiders. There's somebody, playing for the Chargers, so I understand that. I'm good with that. But this is like me being the best me that I can be. So where are you now? There's different ways that we can quantify that. How much money, how wealthy are you? What's your wealth status? You look, it, right? Everybody here knows you. How do you find it out? Well, I check my bank statements. I look at my app. I pull up my checking account. I know where I stand, right? Well, how's your fitness? I don't know. How do I even know? How do I know? What do I do? Well, here's some ideas. Let's find out. There's many ways. We're keeping this thing really super simple here. Get on a scale. What's your body weight? Just the most basic thing. If you've got a good doctor, family, internal medicine doctor, somebody you can count on, I'm blessed to have one. Every time I see that guy, for whatever reason, I get weighed. He weighs everybody, takes everybody's blood pressure every single time for no matter what reason you come in that office. So we need to be thinking about that, like that mentality ourselves, except you might only see the doctor once a year or once every 5 years or more. Weigh yourself, see where the hell you're at. That's just a very gross number. But if you're here and interested in this program because you want to lose some weight, you're going to get on that scale once a week, not more, not less. It's been studied. This is the best way to proceed. You got to do things chronically. It's got to be a system in place. I don't think I put it on there. I meant to, but I want you to weigh yourself. To be very consistent. As whatever your ritual is in the morning, or weigh yourself before you go to bed. It doesn't matter as long as it's the same time. Every single day, right? Before you get in the shower, after you get out of the shower, whatever. Weigh yourself at that time. Pick a day. Every Tuesday, you're going to do it. Whatever. Keep track of your weight. That's part of this thing. Waist measurement. I don't mean what size pants you're wearing. We know that guy. He's got the boiler down here, and he's got a 32-inch waist, right? Because you can't even see his belt buckle. So I don't care what waist your pants are. So how do you measure that? It's your belly button. Go right around, take the tape measure and go right around the belly button. All right. And that's one simple way to do it. You want to get a little more sophisticated, a lot more sophisticated. Won't cost you very much money. Take you a little bit of effort. Anybody ever heard of DEXA scan? DEXA scan. And I think this is a pretty trick thing to do. You could just Google DEXA scan in my neighborhood. It's roughly $100, and you go to an imaging center, and you lay on a table, almost looks like a self-tanning bed, and a mechanical arm will come like this, and it just simply measures and takes a picture of your body in terms of. Did you ever do it, Wayne? We had mentioned that you didn't do it. Okay. And it costs about $100, but Google that, Google DEXA image, and you'll get a color image of bone. It'll test how your bone density is, which is an important thing, especially for fair-haired women. Most guys don't have so much of a problem with osteoporosis, but might be. And how much lean weight is on your body, and how much fat weight is on your body. And then when you do the math on that, it's a percentage of that is what's your body fat percentage. Exactly. What's your body fat percentage. So what I would recommend that if you're interested in that information, I would suggest that you do it now or between now and the 1st. And that's a baseline. What do you weigh today? What do you weigh tomorrow? Right? What's your DEXA scan? What's your circumference of your waist around your abdomen? All right. So think about that. A DEXA scan. It costs about $100 typically. Sound programming. That's what we're here. So listen, everybody in this group has got, to some greater degree or lesser degree, some equipment that they work out with. We might have people going to the gym with a full membership and all the machines and everything and experience with that. You may have somebody else in the group really doesn't have anything, doesn't have a place to go. Maybe walk, maybe ride a bike, or I don't know. We got to figure that out. And so that's why the workouts this isn't personal to you. The workouts, I'm going to give you guidelines for how I can help you take what you're doing and what your level of fitness is now, today, and then we can optimize that and maybe ramp you. If you don't have a lot of experience that way, maybe ramp you up a little bit. I meant to include a link. I can do that anytime to help you get. At the very least, I encourage people to set up a home gym and just get a few sets of dumbbells and buy yourself a couple of sets of resistance bands with handles at the end. They're inexpensive, very inexpensive, and I can send a link. I don't make any money clicking on this link. I don't make any damn money doing that. That's not my business, but I can tell you what's the best stuff out there and save you some headache if you're interested. And it's just most of it's I get on Amazon. And then there's some other equipment I might recommend, like a weighted vest for those of you that hike and you want to add a little bit of, and you're in pretty good shape already, and you want to add a little resistance to that. A weighted vest. I like a company called Rogue Fitness for that. Make good stuff there. Anyway, so we'll just going quickly through the program. We want to develop functional muscle muscularity and mobility. So real quick, functional strength. Just be clear on that. Is there such a thing as unfunctional strength? I think so. And that means like pressing a leg press machine. You ever gonna do that in real life? No. How about squatting? You're going to do it many, many times every day until you're dead. Use a toilet, sit in a chair. Yeah, that's your squatting. Okay. And then we want you to build some muscle. It's very, very important. It drives your metabolism. It allows you to move and be the best you can possibly be in life. And then we want you to be mobile. Anybody notice they got a little stiffer as they got older? Yeah. So we want to reclaim some of that. And let me just say early on, I'm going through this as fast as I can, but I think it's really important. At the very end of it, I hope that you understand most of it. Don't expect to understand all of it. It's a lot of information, and just don't stress about it. That's why I wanted to pull the anxiety off of it. That's why I wrote all this stuff down. And then strength training and building some muscle also helps stave off further weight gain. Or if you get to your goal, so you lost some fat, you got to your goal, I want you to keep strength training. It's proven it's effective at helping you control your weight. That flies, contrary to the way many people think. They think, oh, I got to do more on the bike. I got to do more spin class. No. Doesn't work that way. Besides, spin class doesn't make anybody look better. Only trains the muscles of your lower body. We can do better than that. Improve cardiovascular function. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, sure, I want you to look good. I want you to look better than ever this summer. That's why we're 12 weeks out from the summer. Look good in a t-shirt, some shorts. Hey, it's good. It's good for you. It's good for the people around you. Become a role model, fitness role model. That's a good idea. But we're here for your health, cardiovascular health, right? Bone health. There's so many things that are impacted when you're exercising on a regular basis, from the way your hormonal regulation, controlling diabetes if you have it, getting rid of diabetes if you have it, or if you have metabolic syndrome, making sure you don't go to the next level of type 2 diabetes. Stimulate those feel-good hormones. That's the number one reason. If you're not following me on social media, I suggest you do. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And I talk about this stuff all the time. Number one reason. Pete, what's the number one reason that you go to the gym? It's got to be muscles, right? No, it makes me feel good, right? Because I battle anxiety and depression. I want to get my head right. That's it. It's my number one. It might work for you too. Strongly suggest it's based in science. Works. And generate a true sense of accomplishment. I think everybody here is pretty damn accomplished already. I don't think you're done, are you? Right? It's good. It makes you feel good. You're accomplishing something here with your body and your brain, your mind. I like that. Lose fat, gain muscle, look better in a t-shirt. That's the end of my list. And I thought I'd take like a minute to say, anybody have anything else they would like to add to this list? That's why they signed up for this. Just go ahead and say something. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, one of the things for me is to get ready for elk camp. So I go elk hunting every September, and this is typically the time of year where I start kind of training for that. This is Jack.
Got it. I had it. I'm sorry. I'm on a phone, so I got to go through the screens.
No,
I got
no
it, Jack.
worries.
Elk camp.
Yeah.
Never heard
So
of
it's
that.
in
That's good. Okay, that's fine.
Colorado, basically
Okay.
lots of hiking, lots of bow hiking, if you will. And maybe if
Yeah.
I'm lucky, I'll see an elk and get to carry it out.
Yeah. Wow. So, like you're a guy that's would be, for example, a candidate for just a quick, this gets a little bit into the personal training, but more times than not, I encourage people, men your age, the typical age of this group, although there is certainly a span there, to focus more on some high intensity training. It takes a modicum of physical level of physical fitness before you can start doing, say, some short 10, 20-second sprints on a bike or an assault bike. That's my preferred, most impactful way to get physically fit, most bang for your buck. However, having said that, the type of event that you have, these long hikes, it would benefit you to prepare your body specifically. It's the specificity of the implied demand. The demand is you're going to be hiking for many, many miles through difficult terrain, changing altitude. So you want to train specific, it's the SAID principle, specific adaptation to the imposed demand. So that's that much of an answer, but you might be a candidate, get a backpack or get a weighted vest, and then start attacking greater lengths so that when you get out there and the real McCoy, boom, you're going to be good to go.
Yeah.
That's very specific.
Well,
anything else?
So it is, that's why
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because Wayne knows this is part of my every year I do this. And I just want to make sure that I don't know if this program will be that specific to people or
no,
not.
We'll set this thing up in such a way that you guys can reach, in fact, let's just do that now, Wayne, if you're fine with that. So as you're, we got 30 more minutes max here, hopefully less than that will be done. And then anybody just go and get my email address and just, hey, I was in on a meeting. And we're going to do a Q&A at the end. If you don't get to your,
Okay.
if I don't get to you at that point, or you think of it tomorrow, just email me a question. Just try to, get straight to the point, and I'll fire back at that. Again, this is a generalized program for a group of guys, but I would love to, drill down with you guys individually. Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay. Equipment needs, touched on that just a little bit. The equipment that you have is up to you. I'm going to give everybody sort of a generalized approach that I think is going to work for me within, and I'll email that to you guys. Not enough time to get into that today, but I'm going to ask people to strength train, and I'm going to ask people to go and get a little bit of long distance cardiovascular exercise, which has one specific purpose, and then some more HIIT training, high intensity interval training, which has a very separate, distinct purpose. As many days per week or sessions per week as you want to put into this is on you, right? I'll help with the guidelines, but that's going to be on you. All right. And decide how much you want to get out of this. Quick overview of equipment. You've got body weight training. We've got a whole hell of a lot done with body weight training and bands, which is just a half a step up from body weight training. If you saw I posted on social media today doing squats just to make them a little bit more challenging, to make my squats a little bit more challenging. I simply draped a long resistance band around my shoulders and stood on it and added that resistance. That resistance band costs about $10, and it's an incredible piece of equipment. when you know how to use it. So bands, sandbags, kettlebells, dumbbells, of course, body weight training. If you got access to a gym, everything goes on top of that, the machines, barbells, and everything else, right? So just a little further down, game plan, strength training is incredible. I won't read the whole thing. It's incredibly important to maintaining metabolic efficiency, bone density, the whole 9 yards. So plan overview. I suggest that if you're going to embrace this program, at least 3 days a week. If you just went every other day, to work out to about 3.5 days a week, 3.5 times, that'd be about 15 workouts, 15 what I call exposures to exercise a month would be the very minimum. But you could definitely take this thing on 6 days a week. No doubt about it. Maybe 7 days a week, right? Just depending, just is none of those, if you're gonna train more like at the end of 6 or 7 days a week, understand that every workout doesn't need to be all out. But if you're gonna train less frequently, the workouts, there would be an expectation that the workouts should probably be a little bit longer, push a little bit harder within each exposure to your training. That's both from the strength standpoint and the cardio standpoint. And let's jump to the food, really important part of this. If you're trying to change your body, for most everybody, they'd like to have a little more muscle and be a little bit leaner, or maybe lose a lot of weight, sort of one of those two major categories. Food is going to be the driver. It's going to be 75% of this. The fact is that the combination of an organized physical fitness program and an organized food strategy sounds like 1 + 1 should equal 2. It's 1 + 1 = 5. It's really powerful when these two things work together. You can strength train and have an organized program and not eat well, and you will see a fraction of the benefit that you might otherwise see compared to somebody who was eating to support their fitness programming. The other part is you can eat perfectly, reduce your calorie intake by 20%, which is what I recommend for people to lose any kind of fat meaningfully. And you will 100% watch the scale move down, down, down. But if you're not doing any physical fitness with it, I don't think you'll be very happy with the result of how you look and feel, because the energy is going to go down as the scale weight goes down. And secondly, it will be much more difficult for you to maintain the weight loss and the fat loss, because you don't have the underlying physical fitness and muscle to support that. All right. Let's cut to the foundation of the way that I highly recommend that people eat, and I'm going to recommend that, of course, to everybody in this group. It's a protein-centric diet. There's 3 macronutrients that most everybody's familiar with: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Alcohol would be a 4th one, but let's just talk about those 3. The focus on dietary protein in all of its forms, whether it's chicken, fish, lean beef, pork, eggs, whey protein, all of it is good and important. And it's the motor that drives the whole nutrition side of this. Studied like crazy. You want to be leaner, feel better, move better, and give your muscles a chance to grow and respond to the mechanical stress. That's how you build muscle, through mechanical tension. That only works if it's supported by dietary protein, not carbs and fat, dietary protein. That is the key. And everybody's goal, regardless of what you're trying to accomplish, interestingly enough, is to consume 1 gram of dietary protein per pound of your goal weight. That's what you want to weigh. Now, your goal weight might be 20 pounds less than your scale weight. So that's your goal weight you're shooting for when you're consuming dietary protein. You might be on the other way. I got people that say, man, I wish I had 10 pounds more muscle. Okay, then they're going to go and eat 10 grams of protein a day higher than their scale weight. That's how that works. How much carbs and how much fat? What about those other 2? macronutrients. Doesn't matter. It's been studied. Doesn't really matter as long as you get some fats and some carbs. But a protein-centric diet, to focus that way, is incredibly important. And that's why that's the way I live. And that's the way the people with the best physique, the strongest people that I know, this is the way they're eating. The micro considerations in terms of, I'll just anticipate that question. I think people think in terms of vitamins and minerals. If you're eating high quality foods, I personally don't. So I take two supplements currently, right? I take zinc, and that's only because it's been recommended by every doctor during this COVID times. And I take vitamin D. Even though I live in a very sunny place, it's very easy to get low in vitamin D. Conservatively, 75% of the population of the United States is deficient in vitamin D. And not only does it affect the way your metabolism works, it affects your mood. So if you're not if you live in a place that's got a lot of cloudy days, and it is the winter, and you're not taking vitamin D, I would strongly consider that. All right. So that's supplements. Go ahead.
Key question from John.
How much D and zinc?
Yeah, the zinc is what's 50. It's 50. I think it's 50 milligrams.
Yeah.
50, right? 50 milligrams. And the D is 5,000. It's international units a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So protein centric. Any questions? Might as well just.
I had a
Was I
question.
clear on the protein centric approach to things? Any concerns about that?
Was it body weight or the muscle weight that we want? 1 gram of dietary protein per goal body weight?
Yes.
Okay.
Per goal of body weight. Here's what you want to weigh. Right. In my case, 245 pounds. I'm about right. Probably weigh 250 today. But still, I'm eating about 245 grams of dietary protein a day. Pretty average for me. I just had my second meal of the day, and I had 8 ounces of chicken breast and a salad, some lettuce, carrots, and tomato. So with a little bit of olive oil. That was the dressing, and salt and pepper. So pretty plain, but that right there, that'll give me like about 60 grams of dietary protein in that meal. My first meal of the day was 2, 3, 4, 5 extra large eggs and 2 ounces of ground turkey. So that's 35, 41 grams of dietary protein. So I'm at I'm about 100 right now. That's fine. I'm gonna have a protein shake here soon. That'll take it to 160, but I'll figure out how to get to 240 by the end of the day. Not a problem.
Where do you keep track of all that, Pete? Do you use an app or a piece of paper, or do you just remember it now? How do you remember all this?
I do in my head, but it's so what I've committed to memory over the years is and I used to think that it's still quite a popular notion out there that counting macros, if you hadn't heard that expression, but counting macronutrients and then finding a percentage balance between the three would be the way to go. And some people do subscribe that way. And look, I'm a simple guy. I never liked the idea of keeping track of that many numbers. And when I kind of discovered some years ago that really the straw that stirs the drink was the dietary protein, I said, great, that's the only number I need to count. So then all I needed to memorize was how many grams per unit per ounce normally of dietary protein were in the common protein foods that we eat out there: eggs, cottage cheese, chicken, steak. I pretty much have it memorized. So then I do the math. I can guesstimate a little bit by the portion size, whether it fits in the palm of your hand or whether it's the size of your hand. Is the difference between, like, I got great big hands, but it's maybe the difference between 4 ounces and 6 ounces, things like that. So I just kind of do the math. I've learned how to do the math. I have a food scale. I just don't use it anymore. But that would be a way to do it too. Buy a food scale, and then put a bowl on there, zero out how much the bowl weighs, and then throw your chicken in there, and there you go. Oh, I got 6 ounces of chicken. Chicken's like 7.1 grams of dietary protein per ounce. So, yeah.
Did you see Terse typed in the comments about Terse? I don't know if you just want to say that sugar.
Yeah. Do we need to closely watch the sugar intake and measure that, and then sugar substitutes?
Yeah, I think one thing that I think that is worth touching on is, let me just go back and visit carbs for a second. And like I said, you can fill in the rest of those calories with carbs and protein as long as you get a modicum of both. I guess I'm taking it for granted at this point with this group of folks that when I say carbs, like, I'm not counting candy, I mean, I think we can all agree that but even within that, I shouldn't assume anything, but it's vegetables. And let me put vegetables into a couple of categories. It's a popular notion, but I think it's valid that anything that's like green, like salad, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, we zero those out. We don't even count those in terms of any caloric impact. But something like sweet potato, potatoes of any color, certainly yams, these are really good, dense, complex carbohydrate choices. Could be called a starch, which is kind of an old-fashioned term, but it's a starchy carb. And these are good. These are good for us. They're going to serve us well. The anything with any of the oses in it, right? Fructose, glucose, sucrose, right? They're high glycemic index, high sugar, content in those carbs are not going to serve us well, right? That's pretty certain. And then there's certainly foods like ice cream that combine fructose, right, which or lactose, the milk sugar, and combine that with fat. Not a good combination there, right? So obviously, however, that said, there's a lot of science that says at the end of the day, eating a bowl of ice cream, you can lose weight eating a bowl of let's call it 4 ounces of ice cream a day, provided that you get calorie negative in every other way. So there's still going to be Newton's law of thermodynamics there, except that it's certainly not optimum. I'll leave that right there. That's a rabbit hole we could go down forever. But yeah, it's good. It's certainly worth mentioning that, yeah, sugar's not a part of, it's not what I consider food. So yeah. Okay.
Hey, Pete, what do you think about this? There was a time period where I decided that I needed to get in better shape and lose weight and run. And at that time, like I remember going to a kid's birthday party and they had cake, and I had an extra hamburger, like without a bun. I just had a burger, another burger patty. And I remember people like, wow, how can you be eating another burger patty? But it made me full, and it felt like that was better than eating a piece of birthday cake. Didn't give sugar weirdness. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's so crazy. I mean, your brain was giving you a heads up on what I'm teaching people every day, trying to win people over into my camp and say, I tell people, I challenge you to try to get fat eating, lean ground beef, in your case, a lean hamburger and vegetables, or grilled salmon and broccoli. Try to get fat. It's about impossible to do. You just can't eat enough of it. And you get sick of it and you feel full. These are the things that protein foods make you feel like. It's why is it that we can eat chips forever and I'll have another chip? But if I gave you just like I had this turkey breast, beautifully, grilled, and it was like 7 ounces of it. I was stuffed. I just couldn't eat more of it. It's hard. to eat that much protein. When you start tracking, you know, and one thing I neglected to put this down, but I do suggest that everybody do. And it's good that we have a little run up to the first, right? Wayne is, and Wayne started this way, and I started all the folks I work with this way, is do a 3-day food and beverage log. Right? So write down everything that you eat and estimate as best as you can the portion size, and then go ahead and total it. Man, all you got to do is grab your smartphone, Siri. How many grams of protein in 4 ounces of ground turkey meat? Because you went to a restaurant, ordered a turkey burger. All right, so boom, Siri will tell you. Write it down, and then total that up at the end of the day. That's your food log. And if you consume any beverages other than zero calorie beverages, so unsweetened tea wouldn't count, diet sodas don't count, I don't care. But if you consume any beverages that have calories, write it down. That's part of your food log. Well, you know, what's going on with that? It's carbs. So factor that in. And at the very least, I'm not going to look at everybody's, I'm not here to break down everybody's food log, but I am here to say that this is a marvelous exercise. It's a bit of discipline involved, and see what the heck you're eating. And take a look, above all, as you know me by now, is how many grams of dietary protein are you eating a day? And 3 days will give you a pretty good running average of how important or what position dietary protein is. Just think of it. If it's not, it is what it is. You figure it out. And our society is not, as in large, is not focused on eating dietary protein, and we're paying a heavy price for that. 74% of the population of adults in the United States are overweight. We're number one. It's terrible. And all it does lead to disease and despair, shortened life expectancy. It's no good. It doesn't have to be that way. And it doesn't have to be difficult or painful, by the way. Start eating more protein, dietary protein, and you'll feel better, and you'll feel full, and you'll lose weight, and you get stronger.
Hey, Pete, just a warning. We got like 13, 14 minutes left. And I think one of the things is like baseline, part of what we're going to do together. Yeah.
Right. Let's do that. So what I put down there was a fitness test. Everything as part of this program is purely optional. Anything that doesn't make you comfortable, you don't need to tell me that. You just need to not do it. Right. So this is all to make you better, but also make you comfortable. Because I don't know you folks, but everybody's at their own different fitness and tolerance level. But what I did put together was a fitness test of 4 exercises that require 0 equipment, and that I think everyone can do. And they go like this. And the first one is a burpee. And this is a body weight exercise where you lower yourself onto the ground, and 10 points of contact with the ground, 2 hands, 2 elbows, 2 chest, nipples, 2 hip bones, and not elbows, hands, chest, hip bones, knees, and toes. So 10 points of contact with the ground, and get up, and then hang on, and get off the ground, and then just jump up in the air and touch your hands above your head, get your feet off the ground. How high off the ground? I don't care, ½ an inch. And then just come off the ground, and then get flat again, and then come up, and repeat that. It's taxing. It requires flexibility. It requires muscular strength, and it requires some cardiovascular conditioning. But how many of those can you do in 3 minutes? I'm not trying to kill anybody. I'm just wondering. And you might want to know too. And this is why we do baseline stuff. Google what a CrossFit burpee looks like. CrossFit burpee, which is 10 points of contact. There's different ways to do burpees. It's a little bit confusing, but I'm giving you the CrossFit style. Maybe I'll send a video.
I'll put some of that. Yeah, like if you have a video, I'll put some of that.
I'll do that. The group, because there's a bunch of things. And then the second is the second item is how many push-ups can you do in a minute? Probably the problem with push-ups. I'm a simple man, but I'm saying if I asked 5 different people to do 5 different push-ups, it would look slightly different, 5 different ways. But the way that you can't cheat really is you do a hand release push-up, and that would be another video. I just didn't have time to pull the videos. But a hand release push-up keeps everybody honest. So so here's your extended position all the way, and then you lower yourself, and as your chest is on the floor, you pull your hands back just for a moment, and then press, and just pull your hands back just for a moment. All the weight will be on your chest just for a moment. Hand release at the bottom. So how many hand release push-ups can you do in a minute? Just set your phone timer, right there, and time yourself and see how many you can do. Hand release. If if you don't use the proper technique, or you only want to push halfway up out of it, you're not cheating me. It's you. All these things. Crunches, bent knee, crunch. I put some technique bullet points here in your breakdown. How many crunches? Nobody holding your feet. See if you can do them. If you need it, okay. But see how many crunching sit-ups you can get on your own. Come on, all the way up. Set timer, go for a minute. And the last one is body weight squat. And that's the most difficult one in a sense to be equal on, because not everybody is able to squat all the way down. I would like you be able to squat all the way down like you were sitting on a toilet, so that the top of your thighs were parallel to the ground. Top of your thigh parallel to the ground. That would be the goal, but not everyone can squat that deep, and I understand that. And they feel like your heels need to be flat. So they feel like they need to hike their heels up like a catcher, right? But we don't want that. That's not really the squat that we're looking for. So maybe you just go 2/3 of the way down, but do the best you can. Practice these things before you test yourself. Just don't set the timer. You haven't done a squat, you haven't done a burpee. Maybe you've never done a burpee, but don't just practice it. Take a look at a video. We'll get a video out. And so it'll take you 3 minutes of burpees, 1 minute, right? So 1 minute of hand release push-ups, 1 minute of crunches. Give yourself plenty of time in between. It's not a race. And then 1 minute of body weight squats. Why in the world would you want that information? Not going to mean a lot to you right now, but it will in 12 weeks when you retest. See if this stuff works, right? I like it. No pressure on me. I know it works. If you're listening to me and you do it my way, you eat and you train like me, it's going to work. But can you make those numbers go up? Can you make those numbers go up? And that's another reason not to cheat on any of your takes and techniques at the beginning, because you're going to do it again in 12 weeks, right? We on that, Wayne? You like that?
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah. So part of what we're working to do here is to just pay attention. When I hired Pete, my kids made fun of me because I'm like, I'm going to do my Coach Pete workout. Like, my coach was in the Clint Eastwood movie. Like, he was Swede and he was big, and I'm gonna but it doesn't matter. Like, most of us are still kids at heart. I like having a coach. I like having somebody in my life. That's why I'm in the profession I'm in. I love helping people build their businesses, getting stoked about it, seeing what they do, seeing what they create. And working with you, Pete, was much the same the first time, and it'll be the same this time. And what I like about you and your style is there isn't exactly one workout, because most of us know inside, like, did I pay attention to my eating today? Did I pay attention to Pete? You taught me, this is a mind-blowing insight that isn't. If I just move every day, then I'm probably going to be in better shape. Like, well, duh. Just make it easy. And it doesn't mean that every day I have to go hard and do a huge CrossFit workout. Just move every day. I can check that off the list. So we want to do the baseline and then do the finish, see if we've made progress. And it's like, we're going to pay attention together, have a little bit of fun, share what's going on. I think I'm going to learn from you. Everybody's going to learn from you. Like, I learned about goblet squats. I had never done goblet squats. maybe maybe everybody else knows about goblet squats and does them. I learned from you about the protein piece. That's been helpful. And the working out every day was really helpful. You also taught me some things about resting in between sets and how that's different than doing there's different types of workouts. Sometimes you rest, sometimes you amp it up for 20 seconds, like you said. So I look forward to having some insights and learnings as we go through this together. Tersh just asked, are we going to do a similar workout plan? And you do have, in that starting sheet I think there is a basis of a workout, right?
But there's not, but I'm going to send to you. I just couldn't, once I started getting into this, I realized how important this first document was to relieve, anxiety and pull the heat off. Again, nobody has to do anything except what they feel comfortable doing. And there's a lot of information there, but a lot of choices. And you have an opportunity to start to put your arms around that, incorporating dietary protein into the way you eat and the way you think about food. And also think about maybe, figure out what a burpee feels like. Get down on the ground, pop up, see, and start to prepare yourself for a little bit of that challenge. Get moving every day. And I'll send out a couple of links, just some rudimentary the dumbbells, bench, and some resistance bands. That's all you need. I'm not here to spend anybody's money. We can do that. I'm primitive. I can work out like an animal with 2 rubber bands. I know how to do it. It doesn't take much. It takes a little bit of ingenuity. I admit that I do have the experience of understanding exercise at a high level, but it doesn't take a lot of money to get fit. It takes no money to get fit. It takes attitude, mindset.
Hey, Pete, just to share with you guys, this is my torn up workout sheet out here in the gym. And I think I texted this to Tersh at one point. I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing? But Pete did do this. We've got this one you did for me, Pete, with push-ups, legs, shoulders, triceps. And the other thing, it's really high tech. I've written down in the back so I could line it up. You can't read it, but these are ball exercises with a med ball that I went through the video and I wrote down what they were. And so that's what I alternate with. I run, I do the Pete workout, the strength workout, and I do the ball workout. And I hike sometimes. So
one quick thing about it's a good example. Think about this, and go ahead and hit me with an email because I know we're running out of time. But for example, Wayne said to me very specifically, I said, look, I'm not telling you what to do. We're doing this thing together. But this is one-on-one, so we have more time to do it. But he says, I'm going to do strength training 3 times a week. I said, great. We're going to train every muscle in your body. You've got 206 bones, 646 skeletal muscles, and we're going to train all of your muscles because we're going to do a full body. We call that a full body workout. Boom, 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 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Other people say, you know what? I like to push that iron around, more like me, 5-6 days a week. So I split that up, right? So I would help other clients and, to split it up. These are some things to think about. Think about your schedule. It worked for Wayne. 3 times a week worked beautifully for Wayne. And then the other times a week, because he wanted to get his head outside and take a hike and do a rough hike. He's got a bike and that fits his head. That's what I want you to do. I'm not trying to sell you on me telling you anything. It's a collaboration. It's not a perfect collaboration in this particular setting, but think about about how that could work for you. Take into consideration the weather, where you live, and all these different things. I understand that, the equipment available to you, but that's what's best practices is to find that middle ground between the principles of exercise science and which I'll help you with, and also what works for you as what makes you feel good. Make sense?
Oh yeah.
All right, so I guess we're going to be out of time, but go ahead and the email thing. Go ahead and set me up some emails. I'm sorry it went this long. It was I just wanted to make sure people understood that document that was sent to them, and if you got maybe most of it pretty clear in your head, we're good to go. And feel free to hit me up with questions on that. And I would say this, start thinking about your food today. Start your food, 3-day food log tomorrow, and purely up to you. And then And a lot of it, I'm going to be helping you, coaching you, but a lot of it's going to be self-coaching. That's why I wanted to overload with you with information so that you can start helping your own self out. By the way, one last thing is I'm a lifelong teacher, and I consider myself a coach and an educator much more than I do a personal trainer. I never, one of my policies, the strict policy is I never count reps for anybody. I tell people, here's the exercise you're going to do, but you need to count the reps. You need to be responsible for what the hell you're doing with the barbell in your hand. That's on you. I don't count that. I take care of my business. I count my reps. I want to teach you how to count your reps. I'm not giving you a fish. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm an educator.
Stuff.
All right, that's my story, Wayne. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
All right. So get in the group, get in that group that I started. I'll help stitch some of this together. We'll help create some good habits in each other. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have fun. We're going to grow. We're going to make progress. Pete, thanks for being here. We'll have you again on 3 more calls. Yep. And this has been great. So thanks.
I'll be in touch. Thank you all.
Awesome.
Go get them, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
John, thanks, Pete.
Hey, Wayne, is that through Kajabi, that thing, or is it a different program?
It's a different one. It's Mighty Networks, and you should have gotten an invite. Maybe it went to your Jack at Jack Justice. That's been popping up on my email. I have to try to purge.
I know. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You're doing it too. You're doing it too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
I'm on it.
all right, cool. Thanks.
Anybody else have anything else before we go? Pete's gone, but you good? Are we doing a daily check-in? Is Tersh's thing. I'd be in to do a quick daily check-in. Does that help you, Tersh? Keep on it.
I would do that on Voxer or something. I wouldn't do a meeting every day. Is that what you meant? Like,
No. Get on the Mighty Network and just type in. I did it today or didn't. I'm putting together, starting April 1st, I'm going to get you all a tracking sheet that it's a habit tracker. It's really simple. It's just going to say food, exercise, and sleep, and you're going to color it in or you're not going to color it in. Like, that's it for you. So I'm going to get that for you as well. But we're going to start April 1st officially. So we want to get your baseline measurements before April 1st, and then April 1st, we'll all start together. And at that point, sure, we can do a daily check-in. And if somebody, something comes up that day you can't, then just don't do it, right? Like, we're all busy. We know that. We're all hustling with family and business, but let's do this. Let's get some meaningful gains so we can celebrate, right?
That's it.
Hoorah.
All right. Good to see y'all. Go get them.
Bye.
All right. Looking forward to it.
See you guys.